First one should go fast.
Should be quick, huh? You get it?
Yeah, you're not in it, but
That's all right.
Okay.
I don't need to be.
We've got the audio.
Anybody have any comment for anything that doesn't appear on the agenda? We should move that till the end of the meeting. Everybody has questions after.
Really? Okay, so we'll check that one off.
Okay, annexation petition for 189, no, yeah, 189 and 3000 South.
So that's that intersection down by you.
Yes, it's on the other side of the highway. Here is the, here's a copy of the application. Do you want that electronically?
Yes, please,
Okay.
thank you.
So we want to come in or we want to?
And then we received this letter today from the town clerk regarding that annexation petition, that it has been certified. So with that certification, I did throw in a copy of our 20-year plan, our overlay map, but obviously with that certification, they found it was within our 20-year plan of annexation.
Good.
So if anybody needs to review that. And I think Ryan was running a little late, so he probably has more information. As you can see, some of those parcels, everybody remembers what he was gonna do on there, right?
I don't.
You don't know what he's gonna, oh, okay. Those parcels on 3000 South, so we're coming across 3000 right here. Those are the parcels that's spelled out with that little one across the road. This is what the Charleston mayor said they were going to protest because we were leaving an island. When Charleston annexed this, Mike Peterson's, they left those houses out. And so we've had to collect those or else we leave an island and create a peninsula. So those are the parcels we're looking at.
Right?
I
So we're on
thought
the other side of the highway.
So what zone
Yes.
do they come in as?
they, he's requested they come in as commercial, I believe, there in his
Oh, I
application.
didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
Don't see it. Same.
Commercial, sorry.
Oh,
The
okay.
property, if annexed, be zoned commercial.
Okay, so this is what he's shown us so far. This is his concept.
A gas station.
Yeah, so this is the concept. I do have a smaller one of those if somebody, but I will need those back, but.
Can't he fit a car dealership in there too, so we could also have special?
Sure. Here's a smaller one. I thought he actually came and presented this to us.
Don't seem like to me. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so
There's
there's
the
that.
And I don't miss one.
Hello. Hello. Sorry, I'm late.
So your map probably won't show the parcels because it's outside the town.
Okay.
It may. So what we're looking at is the house on this side and
That's
those,
the barn.
these two parcels. So we'll pick up
This
those.
and this.
This
Okay,
is
so
that
this
little.
is 3,000.
This is-
No,
Yes.
no, no. This is the highway.
That's the
So
highway.
those parcels are the ones that.
This 3,000 right now goes down here.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So this is like a 90-degree.
So why does he want to be in Daniel and not Charleston?
He applied in Charleston, they turned him down.
Okay, so currently he's in the county.
He's in the county.
So if Charleston protest, it's like,
I
Yes.
think that
What was Charleston's thought in turning him down?
They don't want this one.
They came here to the council meeting,
Last Monday, right?
yeah, a week ago Monday or
A
something.
week ago Monday.
And they didn't like what he did, I guess, is what the justify I got. Did you get that?
I got that, and that they feel that their citizens want to maintain a very rural environment, and this didn't fit into what their dreams were.
And they wanted him to put a park in there. is what
Yep.
Mike said.
So where is that huge house?
What kind of a park? Just
It's
You
behind
can-
that.
You can see this is that little
It's that barn,
piece, and so the house would be right over here.
Okay.
So this is a Spring
So
Creek
this isn't
Canal.
their backyard?
Yeah, this
No,
is
this is the front.
front yard. Well, front yard would probably be
Yeah,
3,000
front yard's
south,
out
side
here.
yard.
Yeah.
So this is Spring Creek Canal. Goes,
Okay.
if that helps you.
Well, I have a question. If the mayor and one of the town council members at Charleston came in to the Daniel, excuse me, council meeting, it seems like to me they have a rather strong opinion of how they'd like Charleston to remain like it is, and they're dead set against us, Daniel, moving in and accommodating this development. So as a courtesy to the town of Charleston, why would we not go that direction? Why would we not say, no, we're gonna deny this? The only reason I've heard of is because we've got a dangerous intersection at 3000 South on 189, and this is the only way we can straighten it out.
One of the ways,
Yes. And so,
and less expensive and
well, and
cheaper.
you remember we've been reporting back on that, on the Highway 189 corridor preservation. And so his plans indicate exactly what we came up with in that committee. But they really don't, Charleston doesn't want to do that. They want to move that road further down, which will, in a sense, make it so it will never be able to be signalized.
Further down to towards the lake or towards the lake? Oh.
Yeah. And so, basically, that's why we didn't sign the agreement. It didn't have the teeth in it to make them do the intersection.
UDOT.
Charles.
Oh, Charles.
All the members of the whole thing. They took the teeth out of it that would make it. I mean, that was the whole reason to go to the meeting, so we had something in concrete, this is what we're all doing. Somebody annexes in, we require them, okay, you're gonna have to donate this much to the town, because this is the road plan. So that's, Mike was in those meetings and he's like, this is what, he was against the road, doing the road. The way that it's drawn on there, but he says that's what you guys wanted, so.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
From, your comment of they don't want this. Well, we have that 20-year plan that shows where Daniel is. Well, they came right along and Daniel protested about them and they didn't care. They came right along, bought Bingley, bought all that property that is in the Daniel area and had it annexed in. It's across the highway. They told us they wouldn't, they did anyways. They don't care what, just don't want it there. And I think this is my personal feeling, I don't know what Eric says. We're better to have our commercial than across the highway. It is not in our area, and you know what? That mayor doesn't care one iota what we want. They do whatever they think will please, and that's what he did over here in our area.
How will
He
this-
has no courtesy for us.
How will this
At all.
affect the people across the highway?
All that effect.
Yeah, on your side of the highway?
Don Robertson's piece is right, here. So this is actually, he has a well right there.
Oh, I see
And
where
so-
this is now.
And so that's why he was worried about this thing sliding down. Remember, we had the three
Uh-huh,
different
yep.
options, went right through his well.
Right through as well. Okay,
And
so
so-
you are up here. So this isn't
It's not
gonna be.
gonna affect us, the
It won't
airport's
affect
what's
you.
gonna affect us, but this isn't. But if you look, like I said, Daniels has that in, and Daniels has kind of stepped back and waited because they was waiting to see what Heber City did, because they thought Heber City would try and keep the town, keep their businesses up on Heber.
Mhm.
Well, then they start buying out, and they're building all these things out. So Daniels approached them and said, what are you doing? If you're not gonna try and keep Heber Main Street alive, then we're going to let these people come in, and we're going to come from the outside in. And they don't care. But we are, it is in our 20-year plan of annexing clear across the highway.
This is the-
If
And
I
there's a lot
remember
of
right,
people
that
that want to
property's
do
been
it.
weeds for
So this
years.
is
Is
actually.
that true? Or is
Yeah,
some of
oh,
it?
yeah.
I think it's all just been dry and weeds for years and years.
Yes. And
So,
that's what the mayor said, he would like to see it in agricultural pasture.
Like the big house with the barn.
Exactly.
I don't see that as agricultural and pasture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said when he come to the meeting. It could remain in agricultural. But anyway,
This
it's,
big house over here. you're talking
I guess that's why it's here, so we can talk about it.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, me either. Only thing that I'm wondering is, can you get them to put up a 30-story building?
Can we get it?
I read.
Probably not.
Oh, darn.
Probably not. I mean, the one councilman that was here in the meeting, he said it was an eyesore what Mike had done there.
He did say that, the weeds were all grown up.
Yeah, he said, and the building and the art and the storage, it was just an eyesore, but I was
Mike
thinking to
Peterson.
myself, you guys are the ones that approved that.
That's Mike Peter, yeah, that's Charleston's, that's not ours.
So
But he sold it, Peterson sold it.
he did sell the RV, or the storage part of that, he did sell
Oh, but not.
it. But they allowed that,
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
they allowed that, I was in the meeting, I went down to the meeting. I'm like, you couldn't do this if you was in Daniel.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait a minute, how can we
If he's
stop,
gonna do
how
this-
can we stop a private
So is this
individual
Peterson's
from
too?
developing
No.
and selling
This is some
his
other
own
guy.
property?
yeah.
Because that use is not it's only tied as an ancillary to
Yeah.
that building. And so if he
But here's
sells
my
half of
issue.
it, that
You
use
gotta
is
get
no
the
longer
name
allowed.
right.
That's
We're
right.
gonna have
Storage
to-
units won't be allowed.
Okay, Gary has a
Send it
It's
point.
tied into his commercial development.
Gary has a
If
point.
you can't get the town name right.
We
Oh,
don't-
did he not even get our town name
It
right?
says Charleston on it.
Oh, yeah. Because across the road, it's Charleston now.
I know, and that's probably where he
Yeah.
tried when he had to.
Yeah, this is what he gave to them to
So
try and,
I'm just being on right
Yeah.
here.
No, you're good.
So is this, I mean, I haven't thrown a tape measure on this, but is he within the kinds of things that we allow in our commercial code? This, that he's proposing, does he have the kind of property? How many acres?
10.
10 acres.
10 acres.
So he's talking about those buildings, he says they can hold 8 tenants each.
Yes.
This is three.
So has he
So he has
looked
to
at
be
it, does he have
parking
adequate
and all
parking?
those things.
Yeah, he's got it designed to our standards.
Okay,
The only thing I see that I, just first glance, because it's just rough, is that I don't see the parking spaces broke up
right,
like we talked about with the
up
church.
the highway, yeah.
Is there an existing home that this acreage takes up?
Yes,
And those people have sold out or are willing to sell
So
out?
someone
I
lives,
believe Ed owns that too. I believe they're renting that.
Oh,
because somebody lives there,
Yes,
or appears to be somebody lives
yes.
there. Okay.
And so you'll notice on that design that there's a future road running up alongside the canal.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Oh,
Would that be part of Daniel also? That they
Yes.
from the canal
from
this
the
way?
canal up.
This way, towards
So
the.
you'll notice on this map that we're looking at, this is the Spring Creek Canal.
This little
Yes,
line right here?
that is the
Okay.
Spring Creek Canal.
Okay.
And so,
Putting a road
or
next
the
to it would not
remnants
be up
of
to
it.
us, that would be, I mean, there's all kinds of problems with building right next to a canal, but the canal company deals with it, isn't it?
well, no,
Don't they have easements on either side?
they will have an easement, but
So they
But
can still build a road there.
rarely has any water in it. It's not used for any real purpose anymore.
yeah, I think the last turnout on that's up quite a ways and everything's pressurized.
we used to get
But
on pickups and.
if you look at that, if that road
Water ski on
continues-
it? That's how I learned to water ski, was on a canal.
Then you got
I didn't know how to jump the lake.
Yeah, they don't have to do that anymore.
They didn't let us do it then in the snow.
And so I think that's what I think Charleston was looking at this, the very idea, and he's left it in
I see.
for a frontage road coming up the backside of those properties.
So we'd have to look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know, there just seems there's something out of place here.
Something's
to me
playing
that
against
Daniel would want to cross 189 and go mess with this.
So are we gonna have to run water across? or-
Yes.
But they'll pay for that.
He's prepared to pay for that.
That would be very expensive, but
Well, but
Just
Charleston,
drill it underneath.
Charleston set the precedent. They crossed 189 and annexed property on our side.
Exactly right.
But it's always been in the plan to cross the highway for Daniels.
Right.
Since Daniels has became a town, it's always had that plan of going across the highway.
It could come.
This guy's just come up with an idea of how to do it.
Access, not off the highway, but off of the
Yeah,
Off 24 South.
I don't think we need any
so
more
where are
storage
Heber
units,
City's
first of all.
boundaries in all of this?
They're clear
We've
up.
done the storage units.
This is the sewer farm, so they're.
You mean the Olympic parking?
Well, I think they've actually annexed the South Field.
The only-
Everybody else.
I don't know.
Advantage, I guess,
I
is the
believe
road.
they
Is that enough
have
of an
taken part of
advantage?
it.
I don't
Well,
know.
I'm sorry, if that road was
I'm on the wrong side.
coming down here, and you don't
No,
have.
that is the
all
right
this
side,
business.
right? Edwards Lane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep,
This
so
is
they
our
have-
road, this is
they have
Charlie
taken
now.
Southfield Road.
This is our road now,
Mhm.
Because the church
which goes,
is
They,
in
they
Heber
could
City.
put lights on
Yeah.
now, but if
Across
it's
from
a-
Santee.
well, and all those, so the bypass right of way should be,
That's why they
which would
annexed
be
it.
making it
down there.
worse. Because then you get people coming out here and people.
Well, no, this one exists.
Oh, gotcha.
This and
Anyway,
this,
I just wanted to.
which is better than where it is
right up here, this is
now.
already built.
It's already built. It's flat.
Up the airport.
Mhm.
I run away.
This guy's gonna pull out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
But
messy.
if they get it down.
We just have a
Anyway,
signal when they want to
just
land a
think
plane
that
and.
was- I think we
So
just
on
left
the
it
other
on
side,
there
it's
because
Like
it
with
was.
a train that says,
Mhm.
only a plane will fly.
So, I guess my question is, what's the advantage to Daniel to do this? Let's make a list. What's the advantage?
What are the
Today,
This
advantages?
fixes the light situation, right?
It fixes the intersection that
Because
it can
they-
be
Yeah,
signalized.
because it'll be right across from each
Okay.
other now
It
and
brings
not
in income
down.
because they'll have business
A little
licenses and
income.
they'll pay property
Brings in
taxes.
income.
Not just
for-
that.
The water
Yeah.
and the
Sales tax.
building.
Right,
and
sales
that.
tax if they're that kind of
If
business.
they are a retail business, we'll receive the sales tax.
Yes, and income on the water. Uh,
And what's the downside?
Makes Charleston mad.
Okay?
I'm sure. Is
Other
that really
downsides?
Oh, I don't know. It's a side.
I guess the road would
side.
be a different configuration somehow or other,
Well,
would
it's
be
gonna-
better or
It's gonna
worse?
be anyway.
Well, the way the traffic's going, they're going to have to do something to get on and off 180.
At some point.
They're
I'm not
making it
gonna try that.
affordable.
Well, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
without having to
from
go-
Charleston, the road, if this doesn't go through, the road would come in
Yeah, they want to pull it further in.
and move it to the south so that you don't have that congestion right there.
And Charleston hasn't really been willing to cooperate with Daniel on that whole road thing,
The prior administration did.
but this doesn't.
This is exactly opposite of what the meetings that I went to. We went to, they have a water district area, and I went down, I said, we're a new town, where are you guys drawing the line? Where are you gonna be at? And so we're not, we're not stepping on each other's toes. They said they was never coming above the canal. And then, of course, the Bingley thing went through, and then Mike Peterson's annexation there. So,
And their
the
mayor's out in
administration is
January, right?
divided.
So their mayor's out in January, right? Or is he back in? I think,
I don't know.
I think he hasn't been.
I think he's got another year, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
oh, maybe so.
I think he's got another year.
The
But
citizens,
they
I
have
think,
just,
would like him out.
he's having a hard time with his council. He is.
That's how it ought to be.
That's right. They should be getting along.
Then collusion
So
happens.
they can quite
That's
significant
right.
For us.
With all the litigation.
Not as much as a car dealer, but.
So is there anything else bad you can see that maybe we're not seeing? Has anybody got anything?
If it was ever going to be agricultural ground, I might feel a little bit bad about it, but it's rock and it's weeds.
And nobody's gonna raise sheep on property you can get 100,000 acre. And it's zoned
Well, no, they're gonna
commercial.
get run over on the highway anyway.
I say, we run a piece over there,
10
and,
acres.
also we put our goats over, we got a call saying, Eric, your goats are out, and we're like, how in the heck? And we go, and somebody had run through the fence in the middle of the night, and so our goats are out on the highway. And so we go put them back, and then the highway patrol comes, and he's like, I'm gonna give you a ticket because you can't just let your goats out on the field. And Eric walked over to the hole and picked up the license plate and said, why don't you get a hold of this person, and they still wanted to give us a ticket, and Eric keeps, still to this day says, let's move the cows over. I'm like, no! We're
He
not
just told me, he
moving.
says, you can't prove they wasn't out before the car went through the fence.
Yeah, that was what we got.
It's
Oh,
true.
nice.
I
But
can't
who's-
prove, but that's what he
Doesn't
said.
make
I can
sense.
prove they're out, but I can't
I'm sure
prove.
that's one that you could convince the judge of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Especially if it was
A
a.
few $1,000, you convince the judge.
but it is scary to have your animals out on that highway.
I
I
hate it.
mean, I can't
owns
even
this
imagine.
now?
They die.
Ed,
Yeah,
his
Exactly.
name's right.
It's an
Ed
unfortunate last name.
Golo?
Gulo.
Gula,
Yeah,
and he just owns that one, this one parcel.
yes.
And where does he live and why doesn't he do something with it? And He
He's
lives in
been,
Midvale, it looks
Yeah.
like.
yeah, and he's been up to the meeting up with the 189 corridor
I'm
reservation.
guessing he bought it as an investment to do something
Probably,
like this in the future.
that's the property that I run next door, that's what they've done too.
And could you see someone putting a home there and making a little hobby farm? I mean, it doesn't seem like an ideal location, but,
I don't know.
I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
There's different things, but it'd be nice if just one home and a little grass and a couple cows and maybe some goats
Making
with
it
a
happen.
good fence.
People building an operation like that are gonna try to stay away from the highway, I think.
That's right.
I don't think that I would want my place, if it were a hobby farm right there on the highway.
Unless
I'd
you
look
put
for
your house on the back of the 10 acres and the
I'd
price
look
is
for somewhere
right.
else in the valley. I wouldn't put it on the highway at all.
I'm just trying to be
You would
devil's
never-
advocate.
You would never get a
Devil
call
doesn't
from
need an
the highway
advocate.
patrol.
That's true. Very true.
Our,
Yeah, you miss out
our
on that
minions
one.
have not got out yet, huh?
The minions have stayed in the field.
Somebody,
Those are minions.
yeah, somebody loves to take the eyeballs off of them, but the minions stay in the film. They're there.
Shayla, she's an officer with, she loves them.
Oh, we have cars
Well,
lined up taking
My
pictures.
grandkids.
If we do this annexation, you could turn them towards Charleston and add some banners.
Yeah, my grandkids had a great time building those.
Those are so fun, I did not know they were yours, they're
I
wonderful.
mean, it doesn't matter.
Evidently, the history is, that's separate for Charles.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that doesn't do it.
You know, remember when we tried to make a town, we tried to get Charleston to annex us? And we become part of Charleston, and they
Yeah.
didn't want no part of that, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
that's what we tried to do, is easier to make
Make
it a
one
town.
town?
Yeah, become part of Charleston, they didn't want to talk about that, so.
Does Charleston have CCNRs with one house per 5 acres and? I mean, there's grandfathered in people, I'm sure, but
Well,
no? I
there's,
don't know.
there's some struggles with, they have a fire marshal that they hire within the town, so they've been fighting with the county and the health department. They did build some 1 acre parcels, and I believe that some of those are in court down along 3000 South. I don't think, some of them haven't been able to build on yet, but they did sell 1 acre parcels along 3000 South.
So their CCNRs are a little vague, could I make that statement, maybe?
Well, it's our,
Not CCNRs,
yeah, their code,
Code.
but I don't know if they're vague or,
they changed.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, they changed.
For sale, I don't know.
Which town's bigger, population-wise?
You know, I don't know how many Charleston has.
But I was.
Well, they have to have about the same, they have to be
Yeah.
under 1,000. or
They're
you're
smaller
out of
than
town,
Dagger
you're
by
city.
quite a bit.
So,
Yeah,
I can look it up.
They have
So
a
that
town
would be
hall.
the reason why they wouldn't want to annex Danson.
Yeah,
but this mayor also, because they just sold that big barn and it's now what's the school Corey goes to? Soldier Hollow School. So the mayor
big indoor?
likes to say he's
That's where they
all
moved it to.
against growth, but he's coming in and selling little things up, so, and bringing people, you know,
So that's that big indoor that's at the bottom of
that,
the town.
that's
Yes,
off to
yeah,
the
Yeah, on Sage
outside.
Creek.
No, it's across.
And the
West of
school
Sage
has bought it and they're coming in, and the citizens are furious because they didn't want that. But he's sold it and
Well,
he
schools can
approved
pretty
it.
much do
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we know
Yeah.
that.
We know that. As they
In
cut my
2000, their
irrigation line
population was
today.
378.
Oh,
So ours
They're
is
smaller
way,
than Danson.
because ours is almost, what?
900.
Almost, yeah, 900. Isn't ours about 900?
yeah, you have to be below
He says
1,000.
this is 378 is what.
Yeah, you have to be
Charles says.
below 1,000 or else you have to become a city, so.
And they don't have-
So if we get close to 1,000, some people will.
Yeah, to move out. We might be being cast out.
Yeah, the rules, all the rules change when you're.
Yeah, but you are dead.
You know,
I
his
said
kids
there's
are
no
talking.
parking, that's been a problem.
Yeah,
We,
exactly.
we gather a lot more regulation once we're a city.
Ew. That's dumb.
See, and we were 770, so a little more than twice as big, the 2000 census.
Daniel was,
Mhm.
Well, I can't bring myself to make a recommendation on this one.
I'll do it.
Okay, are we done discussing it? Yes?
Just going in circles.
Okay,
Is this a recommendation that's gonna go to the town council?
it will.
So unless, I mean, I know Kim has reservations.
Great choice of words.
Has reservations. But I think what we've discussed is that it's truly in the best interest of Daniel to expand our commercial to the other side of the highway. And so I would recommend to the town council that we move forward with this annexation.
Okay, I have a motion. You get that, Kathy?
Forward with this annexation.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion?
I would just add, with all due respect to Charleston, I really don't think that what Charleston's best interest is really ought to affect what Daniel's best interest is. I think we ought to evaluate everything, including this, on what's best for Daniel. It's the only discussion I have.
Okay.
I'd add to that discussion, if you've got two towns that are working together, and they work good together and there's teamwork, it'll benefit both the towns.
No doubt.
Okay, any more discussion?
My discussion would be, if we decide to annex this, is this the proposed plan by Mr. Peterson? He would
It's not
buy this
Peterson.
land, or
It's this guy.
this is just out in the sky?
That is just a concept.
Okay. So
And it's
we,
not Peterson's.
this is not Peterson?
No, it's Ed, what's his last name?
Oh,
Go.
oh, okay, I didn't get that part. Okay, good discussion.
Yeah, so there's no guarantee that it will be built or, and they have to come back from concept approval anyway.
Yeah,
Our codes and
All we're
covenants
doing
would
is
apply to that
annexing
commercial
commercial
zone just like
zones.
they do.
just like they do.
Okay.
Annexing 10 commercial acres.
And the road, anything in writing about that?
Well, that'll be a condition of annexation, is he'll have to give that to the town, that
Okay.
property, and probably construct the road. I don't know if the town will participate, that would be, the council will have to decide,
Okay.
but
For sure to probably construct it as part of the
development.
development.
Yeah, and right now, I believe that the figure is $87,000 that UDOT has earmarked for that intersection to put a turn and an acceleration lane, and they have put the freeze on that funding and will apply it towards this intersection when this annexation came up. So they just stopped that whole project and they have told us they will apply those funds towards this. Okay, is that all the discussion? Okay, a motion and a second, we'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Right.
All opposed? Motion fails.
I need more information. Let's see, what other information do I
Treated
need?
you?
Well, you have to have 4, you have a 7-member committee, you have to have
there you
4
go.
for passing
Okay.
motion.
So it failed, right?
Yep, motion failed. So do we want to talk about it some more, or we got?
I guess I still don't understand what. I get that it's in our future plan, Daniel's future plan, and it doesn't matter what Charleston wants. So if we annex this, what guarantees do we have? Can we put stipulations on it that they finish the road? Because the advantage to Daniel is to have the road fixed, in my opinion.
Well, that will be a condition of annexation, so that stipulation will be part of the annexation.
So the answer to that is yes.
Yes.
It will be.
That whoever can just buy the land and
They
leave
still
it
are-
as weeds, I guess, that would be
They
an
could,
option.
but the town would have a right of way through there already existing, so.
Which would
Okay,
strongly encourage UDOT to use it because then they don't have to buy the right of way.
Right.
okay.
But the other thing is for this to happen, there has to be a public hearing. And so there will still be a public hearing, correct?
Yes.
Before the council, where everyone will have a chance to,
And we're
Bring up
gonna
any
hold a
issues.
joint public hearing, so we'll be involved with that. So the folks only have to come out.
so this isn't going to happen until there's a public hearing. So we're just recommending that we go ahead with the public hearing and move this along.
That we think it's a good idea for our town to add this as a
Well,
commercial
that's kind of what
area.
we're saying, is we didn't come up with any huge red flags, and we're willing, we think town council should move ahead.
Then obviously it's our decision.
And that
Yes.
it's,
Yeah, yeah.
it at least deserves to be moved ahead for a public hearing for comment,
Okay.
because we don't have any issues that we can find.
Right, and there, some might come up in the public hearing, that will change our minds.
Oh, absolutely.
But
But
at this
council-
point,
Council doesn't vote on it until after the public hearing.
Yeah, and it's actually, once it's certified, that letter I gave you is certified, it's 30-day notice, so now all of the special service districts, municipalities, and people within 500 feet get a letter,
Okay,
and then they have 30 days to respond.
okay.
And then the public, we hold the public hearing.
So our motion to annex the property is probably a little vague. It's more the
Our-
next step in the process of an annexing,
Our
Yes.
motion-
which would be
Yeah,
a
it
the
is
public
motion was to
hearing.
recommend
Recommend, yeah, it's just,
annexation, not to approve annexation,
Right,
because we
but
don't do
to-
that. That we recommend.
We recommend to annex it.
We could,
Or to
we
move ahead
could,
with
we
the
could
process.
Move ahead
recommend,
with the process is probably better words.
we could recommend to the council that we didn't want this to happen. The council could say, well, that's a great recommendation, but we're gonna ignore that planning and zoning, and this is what we're gonna do.
Sure, got it. Well, that makes it a little clearer for me, and with that new information, I'll change, can I just change my vote to,
we'll
or
have
take
to-
another vote?
motion failed, we'll have to do it all.
Do another motion, okay?
Are we ready to do
Yep,
another
that
motion?
answered some questions I was concerned about, so, do you want to redo the motion?
Yeah, I think you just
Okay.
do the same motion.
So did you just put in there that we re-enter the motion, or just copy what I put and put it again?
Re-enter, is that okay?
Yeah, you got the motion, right, written down? If
I
you
got
read it,
it, yeah, I got it.
just read it back and then we'll just use that.
Oh, okay, so the, okay, recommends to the town council that we go forward with this annexation.
Okay,
Does the seconds,
second stance.
Second stance,
okay?
or new second, whatever.
Do
it is.
second. Okay, so I have a motion, a second, discussion. We've discussed it enough, okay? Call for the vote, all in favor of recommending?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? 4-1, motion passes.
Thanks for keeping balance, Ken.
You bet.
As much as possible.
Feels good, huh, Kim? That's usually me.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, you'll notice that next item on agenda number 3, Mike Peterson's development up on Highway 40 is moving forward. You see some, they're moved dirt and they're pouring some cement. They're putting in all the water lines, the irrigation lines, all the utilities. Remember we talked about that, in most cities they have 3 different and we only have the 2. Unless we end up with a lot of commercial, we don't want to go to that extra expense of doing the 3 different steps during the process. So we've allowed them to put in all the infrastructure and then move on with the building permit. So you see things are going on up there. There's quite a bit, lot going on up there actually.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. So I just wanted to bring you up to date with that, where that's at. New permit update, Vaughn Glasgow, he put in for an agricultural permit over on Little Sweden Road. And Ryan, I believe, issued that.
What's his name?
Vaughn.
Vaughn Glasgow,
Oh, Ron Glass. Ron, okay. The one that's on the council?
no, that's Gladowski, and that's
Oh,
on
that's
3,000
Gladowski, that's right.
south. Okay, he's on 3,000 south, this is over on Little Sweden.
Okay.
And so he put in for agricultural permit, and so that's been issued. I think that's the only one that's been issued. After Mick Kohler's, we issued that one last go around, so you guys knew about that one. I give you the letter, right, from Lynn? Got the recommendation, okay, you got that, okay, I needed to make sure you had that. We have moved forward with looking at the water department and personnel at the council level. Epic Engineering came back with a proposal of a person that was certified to do some of those, they wouldn't be actually feet on the ground if something happened, but they would be doing some of the administrative functions that happens with our water company. The council hasn't accepted that, they just are taking that information in. We're getting to have quite a bit of regulation from the state regarding drinking water, so it's becoming harder and harder to be in compliance. So we do, I believe this week, Kim, you might know better, sanitation survey on the septic.
It is this week.
It is this week.
We now have a septic system. It has 20 people on it.
20?
Not 17, there's 20.
20,
Is
okay.
that the one that's stormy then?
Storm Haven. And it does require an annual inspection.
It's probably a lot less than the trailer court on the corner.
Is that all on septic? One septic?
Yeah,
There's no
no sewer.
sewer.
Yeah, it's all on septic.
How come we haven't had to comply with the state on that?
I don't know.
Okay.
So somebody went.
The engineer,
Oh, I know that.
the engineer,
The town doesn't own it.
Because they told the state it's closed.
The town doesn't own that.
The town doesn't own that septic
Doesn't
system.
stay on and figure out that it's not closed.
No.
that's
The
what
homeowner.
it's private.
That's right.
Glad my well's not there.
That inspection is done by an engineer here in town. I don't know the name of his company, but his name is Ross Hanson. You know him?
Yeah. I know this.
He did the survey last year for Storm Haven. And so we kind of went that direction. But he is, in fact, I tried to get a hold of him today because we're supposed to set something up this week. And this week's getting cut short.
Yes, it is. On a holiday weekend.
You're in the middle.
So there's, anyway, along that line, there's a lot more regulations that the town has to jump through with both, all of our systems that we have. We did have a sanitary survey in Storm Haven, is that correct, Kim?
Last year.
No, not on the sewer, on the water system. Did that guy come up? Did we
They're in
have,
the middle of that.
they're in the middle of them?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, they met with Epic Engineering and was reviewing the well design and talked about what is it they use the material to pack around the well? It's not vermiculite, whatever.
Bentonite?
Yeah, bentonite, thank you.
Yeah.
And there's a possibility we might have to dig that up for a second time. But we're waiting for that report back. So we've had the so-called inspection and we're gonna have the results.
You think they would have a record of that? Somebody? Must have been out,
Well,
Should be on the
it
well
wasn't in the
report.
original engineering plans.
wasn't it?
No. And so I don't know where that leaves the town
Wow.
in that triangle. I don't know.
So it's not on the driller's log or anything?
They did mention Zimmerman was the driller and they were gonna check with him.
You can check the state website and look at the driller's logs on any well.
Yeah, that's how I got Miles, I told him his, that paper I gave him was all that, on that well. And that's what they show, and they digitalized all that, so you can, it's a nice map, you just go over and click on your well, it brings it all up.
Should be on
What's the
log.
website on that?
What is the website address?
It's waterrights.utah.gov, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
But most of them, if they pack them with bentonite, it'll be mentioned on the driller's log.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Well, this particular issue, I'm sure there's bentonite down below 5 feet, but for some reason, this particular their inspector was wanting to make sure that there was not water that could enter from the flood zone.
Groundwater influence.
Yeah, so,
But he may say he went down 20 feet, who knows? But it's worth looking anyway, because it's gonna take 10 minutes.
and I'm pretty sure that Epic is doing that, because Zimmerman got involved with the report.
Yeah, I think it's actually in the floodplain, isn't it? Or
Yes,
well,
it is.
so,
Yeah, that's probably the problem.
so that may be a, might have to extend it up out of the floodplain. Anyway, that's why we were looking at that, is because there's so many regulations now. We pay the state a lot of money to come give us a bad time. So they do. Bang for your buck.
So we want to pay someone that can give the state a bad time?
Yes. We're actually looking at changing the reporting, the lab. We're having a hard time getting our information from the state lab back. And so we end up being in violation, even though the tests have been taken, the information isn't getting passed back. And so we're looking at a different lab to do our testing and just move in a different direction. Depending on the cost, it's a little bit more money, but if it takes out that, I mean, once you're on the radar list, and they come down a lot on you, so bring a lot of heat that we don't really need.
Yeah, they have the water problems to worry about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mike, when I talked to Mike Duggan, that's what he says. He says, you're looking for a water company that's out of compliance. We're not it. Everything we got is new on one system, working on the other one, and that's what we're doing. It's like, you're not the one you're looking for. So,
And that helped.
I think it did. I think it did.
Absolutely did.
Yeah, he's like, we're trying to do what's right, we're in it, so. Okay, that takes us to item number 6, approval of the minutes. Everybody get a chance to review those? You did, and there's no corrections or addition, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the minutes from the meeting on June 15th, 2016.
Okay, I have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote, all in favor? That's 100%, there's no reason to call for it.
Call for any more discussion.
No more discussion, look at that, 100%. Okay, item number 7, if you don't have any questions for me. The only thing I did want to point out to you though, before we adjourn is, everybody got a tax notice?
Yes, we did.
Where's it been?
It's getting longer
Down-
and longer
down
every
Daniel,
year.
Down for a second year in a row.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, down for a second year in a row, but overall, up.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
still made up for it.
Yes, yes. Well, it could be worse, it could be Heber City.
Did theirs go up a
Yeah,
lot?
my mom's went up a lot.
Got a new police station.
That's a nice lawn they put out front too.
Sure burning up quick, isn't it?
Well, I don't know what they were thinking. It's nice, but what were they thinking?
Well, it's just temporary because the city offices are gonna be built in front of that.
Oh, in the future. I see.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're
I just
planning
thought, that's a lot of grass for a desert.
on, yeah, they're planning on building the offices in front of that, so.
They'll tear it all up. Makes good sense too.
But
What's
buzzards
going
can
in
live with it.
north of the
I don't know,
middle
but they
school?
should. Have to have a buzzard tower.
That's the swimming pool.
That's a new swimming pool.
That's the new rec center?
That's your pool you voted for, your
Where's that
school
at?
and your pool.
Where's the new school?
Right, just
Cul-de-sac?
directly north of the middle school. Like the,
Oh.
where the new bank is, right behind it.
So on the old high school.
Old high school
Yeah.
property, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Right by the old
And
swimming
what was the price tag
old
on
swimming
that?
pool across from the middle school and the new ones.
It's
Yeah,
a nice
something
chunk.
like that.
Do you know where it is?
That's
Where the
reflected in our
stadium
tax.
is?
Yes.
Yes, but now you can go swim.
Yeah, we never go.
In fact, Shelley
Wherever.
won't have to buy a third pool.
Exactly, that's right.
By pass. Okay, item number 7, anybody have a motion?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
A second?
I'll second
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
that. 100%.
Awesome, we stand adjourned till our next meeting.
I'm just glad.
We will put in-
This meeting.
if, after the 30 days, we'll try and have a public hearing, do you think that we need to meet before the public hearing? If it's in the same month, or do you just want to do it all at the same meeting?
Do it all at the same.
What we're trying to do is get it to line up with either the council meeting or the planning meeting. And whatever night it lines up with, that's the one we'll have the public hearing.
Good idea.
So we'll just,
I kind of
Okay.
have a complaint about when we do joint public hearings, but.
you don't like it?
Well, I just think the planning commission becomes part of the audience.
I noticed everybody comes in and goes right to the back row. What's the
So
deal
there's
with
nowhere
that?
else for us.
Well, you're supposed to go. Are you supposed to come
Up
up
to the
front?
front, that's
I didn't
right.
know that.
We're supposed to sit like up here in the.
Well, usually I run the tables over like that, so everybody fits, but everybody goes,
Oh, I didn't know that was any different, so.
Well, we were trying to be
there you go.
public too.
It is easier to heckle from back there.
yeah, I noticed that.
Absolutely.
It's easier to heckle than be heckled.
True.
It's much easier to have.
Thank you.